Welcome back to Discernment Central, where we question the teachings that shape our world. I'm Mikael Kroon, and I first met Simon Crumbwell in a seaside cafe in the southwest of England. It was so much fun because, he was the chef and he asked me how the food was, and somehow we came to deeper subjects. So I really wanted to remember the conversation and asked him if I could record it. So with his permission, here's the recording. Simon, I hope you're ready to dive deep today.
Always, cosmic traveler. The soup of existence is bubbling, and the flavor of today's journey will reveal itself.
You've got this way of making everything sound like an adventure, Simon. But there's something I need to ask that's been nagging at me. It's about this whole non-duality thing, especially your stance on morality.
Morality. The spice that can sometimes overpower the cosmic soup. Go on, Mikael. What's on your heart?
If you're saying there's no real self, no doer, and everything just happens, then how do we deal with morality? I mean, how do we hold people accountable for their actions if there's no one really making the choices?
Mikael, the idea of personal responsibility, morality, and choice, they all exist within the dream, within the great cosmic play. But there's no individual player pulling the strings. Everything simply unfolds. Like the tides you hear crashing below us, no wave says, "I'm the one to break next."
Sure, but that's the thing. Waves don't start stealing, cheating, or worse. But people sometimes do, and then they can just say, "Oh, it wasn't me, it was the universe doing its thing." That's dangerous, Simon. We're not waves mindlessly crashing on a shore. We do things, we make decisions.
Fellow traveler, that's where the illusion takes hold. We think we make decisions. The ego clings to the idea that it's in control. But what if it is simply another ripple in the cosmic soup, one that has always been stirring?
But isn't that just letting people off the hook? What's stopping someone from justifying bad behavior, saying it wasn't me, it was the soup?
The soup gets blamed for everything these days. But here's the thing, Mikael. When you truly see through the illusion of separation, there's no impulse to harm. When you know that you are the cosmic soup itself, hurting another is like burning your own tongue with a spoonful too hot. That awareness shifts everything.
Okay, I get that. But not everyone's having this deep enlightened realization you're talking about. Most people are stuck in the dream, making decisions based on fear, greed, or anger. Without a framework of morality, how do we prevent chaos?
Mikael, within the dream, chaos is already happening. Morality, responsibility. These are the spices in the dream's recipe, necessary for the play to unfold. But understand this. I am not advocating for immorality. I'm pointing to a truth that transcends morality altogether. In the absence of a separate self, there's a profound recognition of interconnectedness. And when that realization dawns, compassion flows naturally, like a river uniting all beings.
I do really appreciate that ideal, but in practical terms, not everyone reaches that depth of realization. It would also depend on someone's personality type, whether their compassion flows naturally. Some people's conscience is more developed than others. And even if their conscience would develop more in this non-dual realization, the development might need time, it's a gradual thing. And in the meantime, maybe they could use a framework of personal responsibility and morality, right?
In the grand play of the cosmic soup, each ingredient, the personality type, the levels of awareness, the moral framework, has its place and purpose. Just as a soup might need salt to balance sweetness, society often relies on frameworks of personal responsibility and morality to maintain harmony within the dream. These structures serve as guiding posts, helping individuals navigate the complexities of human interaction, especially when the illusion of separateness feels all too real. They can encourage behaviors that promote well-being and reduce harm, providing a sense of order in what might otherwise feel like chaos. In this intricate dance, personal responsibility becomes the beacon of light, piercing through the fog of confusion, leading us towards a more harmonious existence. However, we recognize that these frameworks, while useful, are still part of the dream, constructs within the illusion of separation. The belief in a separate self who must adhere to moral codes reinforces the very division that obscures our true nature. When one begins to see through the illusion, compassion doesn't need to be cultivated or developed over time. It arises naturally and instantaneously. It's an effortless expression of the recognition that there is no other, that harming another is, in essence, harming oneself. This understanding transcends personality types and developmental stages, because it is rooted in the fundamental truth of our shared being.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Simon. It does make sense that in the recognition that there is no other, harming another would be harming oneself. However, some people might harm themselves for various reasons. They might have emotional baggage, or it could simply be ignorance. How would the recognition guarantee that they wouldn't harm themselves and with that other people?
Mikhail, you've raised a profound and compassionate concern, one that touches the very heart of our human experience. It's true that even when the recognition of our true nature arises, the patterns of the mind and the echoes of past conditioning can persist. Emotional wounds, ignorance, and deeply ingrained habits may still influence behavior, sometimes leading individuals to harm themselves or others. The recognition of non-duality is a profound shift in understanding, but it doesn't necessarily erase the human experience or the challenges that come with it. In the apparent world, the dream, as we've called it, the body-mind continues to function with its history, tendencies, and vulnerabilities. Understanding that there is no separate self can bring immense freedom, but it doesn't automatically heal psychological wounds or eliminate ignorance. Just as realizing you're in a dream doesn't immediately change the dream's content, the recognition of oneness doesn't instantly dissolve all personal struggles. So to answer your question, the recognition itself doesn't guarantee that one won't harm themselves or others. But when you fully see through the illusion, there's no right or wrong, no good or bad, only what is. Morality, like the waves below us, rises and falls within the dream. Once you awaken, you see that no one was ever truly at fault. Everything is simply unfolding as it must.
But Simon, I still don't see how we can live without morality. What's to stop people from falling into chaos without some kind of moral compass?
You know, Mikhail, what if the dream and the deeper reality are not in conflict? What if the purpose isn't to escape the dream?
So you're saying we shouldn't be trying to transcend it?
Exactly. The real wisdom is in embracing both, the cosmic soup and all its spices. Living fully in the dream doesn't contradict the truth of non-duality. It embraces it. The dream, after all, is not an error to be escaped, but a dish to enjoy. And in the dream dish, compassion, kindness, and healing are essential ingredients.